Taurus, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In this video, every single week we go over the major planetary aspects and or transits and how they impact your natal sun and what that means for your day-to-day life. We're going to start with the big stuff that impacts everybody, and then we're going to whittle it down and focus in on the stuff that specifically Tauruses should be aware of, and then we're going to get into what you specifically should be aware of based on the position of your natal sun. Now, I know what you're saying. My natal sun is in Taurus. What do you mean it's positioned? Every natal sun is positioned within the 30 degrees that Taurus takes up on the zodiac wheel if you have a sun in Taurus, if your birthday is in Taurus. You don't need to know that exact position to be able to enjoy this reading, as I will be estimating the birth date span that correlates to the specific degrees, but it is best and most accurate to know where your natal sun is located. Now, that's the exciting thing about the journey into astrology. The first thing you start with is your natal chart. So you can Google it, you can, any search engine, just say free natal chart, and so many websites will pop up. All you'll need is your birth date, which you already have, your birth time, and your birth location. Plug that information in, and then it will spit out just a whole natal chart for you, and so begins your journey into deeper astrology. So, if your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Taurus, you are a Taurus 1. If your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Taurus, you are a Taurus 2. And if your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Taurus, you are a Taurus 3. I apologize for the chaos going on outside. I'm not in my normal surroundings. You can tell I'm traveling. I'm visiting my son now, and we're on our way up to Alaska. It's going to be an exciting trip, but I've got to get these videos done. So I'm in Arizona now. That's why my backdrop isn't the same, just so you guys know. So the big things, no major transits this week. However, there is that big aspect in the sky, and everything is involving Pluto this week, so let's get into it. Pluto is trine the sun this week, which gives us superpower and strength to change who we are, major intended conviction about where we're headed, and the courage to end what needs to end, heal what needs to end, and be able to move forward with our new self. It's sort of a metamorphosis period this week. Now, in conjunction, Pluto is still in that tight compacting square, and it's even more compact this week. It is a grand cross or grand square in the sky involving Pluto, which is opposite Mars, both of which are square to Jupiter conjunct the North Node and the South Node. We are pushing forward, but there's a clog. And believe me, the relentlessness of these aspects is going to burst through the clog, even if it has to destroy the whole drain and destroy all the pipes to do it, because we are future focused and we are not giving up. You hear the wind? We are not giving up on our future. So that's the intent, and that's the intensity that will be happening throughout this week. By the end of the week, Mars will move on and will not be square to Pluto, but Venus bumps into its place. There is a softer situation, a softer relationship there, but we'll get into it when it happens. Now, what does Taurus in particular need to focus on? Always know where your ruling dignitary is, because your ruling dignitary is Venus, and she's an inner planet, which means she does affect your day-to-day. She moves pretty fast, and wherever she is sort of going to color the month for you, or at least the focus that you have for that month, or what your priorities are. So be aware of her position. She is in Cancer, which is a very happy spot for her. It's a natural sextile to Taurus, so there's a lot of harmony there. Very romantic, very family-oriented, very committed, looking long-term type of energy, including for your finances and money. Cancerians like to be very certain and secure about money, so if there's tension there, that will be drummed up now. But Venus, in particular, specifically, is moving between 18 and 25 degrees Cancer. That's how fast she moves. Between 18 and 25 degrees. Hi, baby. Cancer. This week, which means she's basically moving between the end of the second decan into the third decan of Cancer, which, if you know about the how everything lines up, that means that she will be sextile to the end of the second decan into the third decan of Taurus. So that could be very, very, very wonderful for you guys this week. But we'll get into those specifics a little bit later. All week she is going to be she's going to be trine to Neptune. What does that mean? Romance. It just means romance, dreaminess, just a sense of melding into each other, almost losing yourself in la vie en rose kind of fantasy. This is better for relationships than it is for finances. It's extra, I would be extra cautious with how you spend your money, because you could just sort of lose track and think you have more than you do. But definitely in relationships, there is a rose-colored glasses sense to this aspect. So please be aware of that. This will be a very romantic period, but it might not last very long, what you discover or who you meet. This is, for long-term relationships, a really wonderful time to get extra gooey, nice, and romantic. Or until the 30th of this week, Venus is also going to be square to Chiron, but then that square will dissipate. It has been getting weaker, and that's good, because that means a compromised sense of value is what it is. A sense of pain or suffering that you experienced from past relationships, and those challenges coming back up again with Mercury retrograde. I'm sure it was extra intense for you guys, but now we're starting to come through it. By the 31st, and by the way, this week is the week of May 25th through the 31st. This week, the end of this week, on the 31st, the last day of May, Venus will start to be opposite Pluto. And that is when some real tension and some real breakage and real major change will start to happen when it comes to finances and relationships. This is when I think they can become even more intense, and that intensity will either make or break them. So let's move on to the decans. A decan is a group of 10 degrees. Each zodiac sign is a total of 30 degrees, so each zodiac sign has 3 decans. Why do astrologers break this up into decans? Because there's a 10 degree range of what will impact or what will create specific aspects that create specific angles that create the aspects that affect us or create the dynamics between the planets. So that's why we break things up into 10 degree groups. If you are decan 1 with your natal suns between 0 and 9 degrees Taurus, that's basically I'm gonna say April Tauruses. So yeah, anywhere between the 22nd and the 30th of April. So definitely Aries cusps. That's you guys. That's Taurus 1. I'm sorry, that's Taurus 1. Right. Your natal suns are conjunct to Jupiter, which, from somebody who has that in their natal chart, my natal sun is within 2 degrees of my Jupiter. And I can tell you this right now, it is freaking crazy, because you always expect to be more appreciated than you are. So there could be a sense of, there could be a sense of almost getting a big head. Now, there's a lot of confidence there, right? There's a lot of courage. No, keep it open because I like the light. Yeah. There's a lot of confidence there. There's a lot of courage there, but there's also a sense of overreaching there or over expectations. So just watch that. Conjunctions are usually neither good nor bad. It's just how you use the energy. So use it to encourage your growth, not to discourage it by thinking you're already there. Just an FYI. Now that puts you at ground zero, Taurus ones, because that means your natal suns are also conjunct the North Node, opposite the South Node, square to Pluto, square to Mars. Oh my God. The clogs in your life are about to be rotor-rooted. Prepare for that push. There is a definite sense of, I am moving forward. Forward is the only direction. That's the only choice that I have. For this week, there is also, the long term, there is a sextile to Saturn long term for like the next year, which means hello, career oriented. You guys are pushing forward when it comes to your career or wherever your expected trajectory is. You are going to get there, and you're being pushed there by the universe now too. So it's not all in your control. Please have faith. Please grab onto that faith, and please trust where the universe is guiding you. Believe me, it is opening doors for you. Okay, Taurus 2s. You guys actually get kind of a rest this week. There's not a lot of interaction that's going on unless you're beginning of Taurus 1 or end of beginning of Taurus 2 or end of Taurus 2. Those of you, so either your birthdays are sort of the maybe the 1st and 2nd of May, or they're like the 9th, 10th, 11th of May, that you'll be, so you guys pay attention to the 1st or 2nd of May, pay attention to Decan 1, and then you guys the 9th or 10th pay attention to Decan 3, just an FYI. But all of you guys, your natal suns are conjunct to Mercury. What does that mean? Well, since Mercury is going direct now, it's actually kind of good. It means cleverness. It means broad-mindedness. It means organized mind. It means being able to communicate effectively and efficiently. This is a great time for you to do interviews, do presentations, for you to do sales pitches, for you to share your talents or your gifts. You'll have strength and courage and confidence when it comes to your speech or the way that you write or present your speech or in communications. It's a very competent and confident week for you when it comes to communicating your ideas, and your mind will be very organized. Definitely write this week, write all you can. It will help to channel that energy into positive momentum. And then we have 3s. So Taurus 3s, Taurus 2s, your birthdays are usually between basically the first 10 days of May, so between the 1st and the 9th of May. And then Taurus 3s between the 10th and the 21st of May, or 11th and 21st of May. That's you guys. Your natal suns, all of you, conjunct Uranus, which is now at it's moving between 19 and 20 degrees. A Taurus this week, so it's right at the end. So it's more conjuncting those of you who are on the Gemini cusp. So May 20th and 21st, you guys will be affected. Just you guys, birthdays, May 20th and 21st. You are trine to Pluto, and you are sextile to Mars. Only the cusps. Everybody else is a little too far away, but to really be impacted. But this means that there is opportunities that are opening up for you, and a lot of energy to actually change and grow beyond what you are. Especially with that sextile to Mars, you'll have the physical vitality to push yourself forward this week. Allow yourself to be more physical. It's just what is going to be good for you. You'll have a lot more confidence and strength since Mars is in Leo as well. Conjunction to Uranus, you've been conjunct to Uranus for a while now. You know that this means just curveballs, surprising yourself, really just the unexpected coming out and you being interested in it and you going for it, embracing your oddities, embracing your curiosities. And also there is a sextile to Neptune that's long term, which means, listen, a conjunction to Uranus with a sextile to Neptune means your creativity is off the freaking hook, and you need to trust where it guides you, because that's what's going to open up opportunities for you over the next couple of years, or it's what's been opening up opportunities for you over these past few years. This week in particular, you are all sextile to Venus. It's you guys that are sextile to Venus, because Venus is moving between 18 and 25 degrees Cancer. Does that impact, in the beginning of the week, it impacts those of you who are born maybe the 8th and 9th, so at the end of the 2nd decan, but all this week it's going to impact the 3rd decan. That means financial abundance, that means like financial opportunities, that means romantic opportunities, being valued, feeling good. This is definitely a time to restyle your house or work on your personal aesthetics. It's a great time to date. You will be getting attention. You will be getting opportunities that you will enjoy and that you will like. It is a very fun and playful time. And also just the level of your natural attractiveness this week could open up doors for you. So that is something to take advantage of. I love you guys so much, and I pray that you have loved this video as well. Please share your comments below. Remember, subscribe to this channel to help astrology motivation grow. Like this video before you log off, and remember, there's a week ahead Taurus tarot card reading over on Born Without Boundaries that I hope you will join me for. I love you, and I'll talk to you next week.